everybody. My name is Uchi Carrier. I'm the president of the Women's National Democratic Club. Delighted to have you here tonight. We are in for a treat, even if I say so myself. I'm standing next to the playwright and the director, and you're going to enjoy the evening, I guarantee that. Just a couple of words about the Women's National Democratic Club. Created 2 years after Women on the Right to Vote. So, next year, we're going to be celebrating the centennial of suffrage, and in 2022, we're going to be celebrating our own centennial. So this play is a very special play for us, because in the Woodrow Wilson era, suffragettes played a major role in the ultimate attainment of suffrage. I also want to alert you to something that's lying on your chairs. We are celebrating the ratification of the proposal of suffrage, the 19th Amendment, and so on June 4, it passed the Senate and went out to the states, and it took until August 26, 1920 for it to be ratified. So on June 4, we're doing song and dance and songs of suffering. It's going to be a spectacular event, so I invite everybody here to come. And now I invite John Henry, the playwright, who's already, this is his third play being performed at this institution. The first one was Arguing with God. It was fantastic. The next one was the next one was Republic, for which we stand, and I had the privilege of participating in that as well. And tonight, Republic Undone. Hopefully, we were going to strike a more positive note next time. So well done,
We're moving over for
Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you, though. Have a nice
Chad Spearman started the committee, our chairman is here. This is the founder of World Step Woman. Molly McCoy is the first woman on our board. Randolph. And Philip Junior Madison there, Chris Fine. We also have Danny Davis, and Clyde Prestowitz, and Matt Florida. I think we've got a good representation. So we're blessed to have Rick Davis as our director. Rick, when he isn't heading George Mason's performing arts, he's busy with us, being America's leading director of Citizen Theater. This is not an easy job. If you were a director of professional actors and you're paying their salaries, and then you could practice dramatic precision, here it's too the rehearsal schedule, but we don't have that ability. So Rick has a whole other set of skills that make all this, everybody, all our citizens, actors, punch above the body weight. So Rick, tell us how you do that.
Well, the proof is in the pudding, and we're about to eat the pudding. But let me just say, from my perspective as a stage director, it is a real honor and a true privilege to work with this ensemble, the Stonehill players, the Stonehill Jazz Foundation, for a couple of reasons. One is the very notion of the citizen artist, the citizen actor, which reminds me, with my theater historian's hat on, of the way that Western drama got started, which was in ancient Greece, where the plays were written by amateur playwrights named Aeschylus and Sophocles, right? And where the actors were the citizens of Athens. It was not a professional activity at the beginning. It was an activity that was called forth by the desires of democratic people. And the idea of this company was summoned into being by the desires of democratic people to improve their lot and their democracy. And that is a real privilege as a theater artist to work with a group of people who are so committed to that cause. Because we do a lot of different kinds of things in the theater, some of which is passed off with the word entertainment, but let me tell you that entertainment, if you etymologize it to this root, means to hold in contemplation, right? We entertain ideas, we entertain emotions. And so the kind of entertainment that we propose for you tonight is that kind of entertainment, holding ideas up and letting you look at them and see what you think of the contrasting ideas and ideals about America that are present. So that's number one. And briefly, number two, this is an amazing group of folks. Each one of them has something special that they contribute to society and that they choose to take some of their valuable time and work on something as seemingly trivial as a theater production. I don't mean that, of course. But something as out of character, I would say, for most of it as a theater production is truly an honor. So I'm grateful to John Henry and to everybody who's still in I'll say one or two things about what you're about to see. This is the chamber theater version of this play. We did it on Saturday in John Henry's magnificent amphitheater in Rappahannock County, which is a massive stone structure, and it was stage lighting and frogs adding sound effects in the background, and a severe thunderstorm during rehearsal. It was quite an experience. We have now scaled it down to this pocket-sized performance, with essentially one rehearsal. So you might see some inspired improvisation as people run around to try to find out where they're supposed to be next. Take it in stride. It's part of the citizen theater game. You will also notice that I am carrying the script of the play in case any of the actors happens to forget one of John's immortal lines. They have my permission to say line, and I will do my best to remind them. So those are the kind of conventions that this kind of chamber theater performance offers. Having said those two exculpatory remarks, I know that you're in for a treat and a really feast of ideas, and we look forward to engaging with you after the show. So now please enjoy Republic Undone.
God renders unto me the things that are God's, and the things that are Caesar's. I surpass both Jesus Christ and Caesar. God wills me to crush anyone who resists my ambition. It's heresy to question my infallibility.
In one breath, you've used I and me more times than my good friend George Washington did in a lifetime.
And who are you?
Don't you recognize the architect of the Constitution and the ghost of James Madison?
Well, you aren't on Mount Rushmore. I will be. War should defy America. I'll be America's greatest war president.
You are the serpent in the constitutional paradise I created, the Philadelphia Convention. each person marching to their own drum. No dictators, no autocrats, no demagogues, no authoritarians.
If Washington or Lincoln had governed in peacetime, they would be completely forgotten.
I discovered the vaccine against mankind's deadliest disease.
Pray tell, the smallpox, the measles, mumps,
Deadlier than the Black Plague.
the scarlet fever, whooping cough, polio.
War. Legalized first-degree murder.
I love presidential wars.
I entrusted the war power exclusively to the legislature. It had not been done in 3,000 years. The vaccine worked brilliantly. Congress refused to go to war unless the nation was attacked. Peace begot dazzling riches. The industrious and ambitious flocked to the United States from all around the world.
I airbrushed you out of my 5-volume history of the American people.
I'll wear that as a badge of honor.
The unitary British government is best.
The British Empire is sinking faster than the Titanic. Prime ministers fight endless wars without parliament.
That's the glory of Britain. Congress can't run an empire.
No civilized man exalts war. Calling it the white man's burden doesn't diminish its savagery.
I'll elevate the presidency to the most powerful office on earth. My unchecked powers need be feared by you.
You need psychiatric help. Repeat that, psychiatric help. What turns wives into widows? War. What turns children into orphans? War. What has fathers bury sons rather than sons bury fathers? War. What impoverishes the 99%? War.
You must enjoy shaving your legs every day. Dreading being dreaded is for wimps. It's better for America to be feared than loved. The president must have the authority to bomb anyone, anywhere, at any time, for any reason, and never have to say he's sorry. Hey, Woodrow, you're the apple of my eye. I love this part of God's.
God shortchanged women by making Eve from Adam's rib.
He had to start somewhere.
I don't want your headaches and insomnia and indigestion. You're a mama's boy.
You'll forget my shortcomings, or the world will know how special I am.
We're first cousins.
As they said in colonial Virginia, close enough to be sure, far enough away to be safe.
Food, wine, artists, sports excite me. God, oratory, and power excite you.
Opposites attract. My greatness can solve any problem.
I must be the center of a man's universe. You are all that counts. You sound better than you are. I can't love you.
Yes, we can. No isn't in God's covenant.
But it's in mine, Tom.
Without an adoring wife, I'm lost.
It is true that both our fathers are
Ellen, for the apple of my eye. Our love is part of God's covenant.
That sounds as rehearsed as the Lord's Prayer.
And these words are only for you.
I like an ambitious man. I do not like a bachelor. Is it also in God's covenant for you to follow in your dad's footsteps?
Dad shepherds the Presbyterian elect. He saves a few souls now and then. But that's not enough for me. I want to save the world. All of humanity is my flock. I'll join religion and politics even more than Lord Gladstone, Britain's greatest Prime Minister. His picture has adorned my bedroom since childhood.
Gladstone talked like Jesus Christ, but he governed like Augustus. He made Britain into a larger empire than Rome.
Gladstone won't match my Gloria. Sparrow won't fall to the ground without my benediction. James Madison's checks and balances won't handcuff me.
We need Madison's separation of powers because you men are governed by hormones. Power, fame, money, sex, and certainty. For all of his greatness, Napoleon lost everything in Moscow.
But Napoleon's tomb is Paris's most honored attraction.
Yes, but Madison's constitution shines bright a century after Napoleon's military triumphs have been forgotten.
Oh, you're more formidable than Wellington at Waterloo. What is it, my love?
Before we go any further, I have to share a secret.
Of course. My love, will it disturb me?
It's a suicide in the family.
Who?
My daddy. He was so traumatized by the Civil War, I couldn't hold him together after Mama died.
I'm melancholic, like your daddy.
Me too. I think we have things in common. Dear Woody, I think you could be my knight shining on.
Oh, you'll outshine Dolly Madison in the White House.
God gave you eloquence. God gave you brilliance. God gave you industry. But God sent me to give you wisdom and judgment.
God blessed you with social graces.
I don't have time to worry about facts. Listen. Be a college professor. You could practice your oratory. Write books like about changing the Constitution. You get rave reviews. You might even get lucrative speaking engagements at J.P. Morgan.
Oh, you're just like Mother, so intelligent, so supportive, so... What else do I need to do?
Look at me. You're going to have to develop a Yankee accent. And the Civil War, taboo. Princeton was Madison's stepping stone to the White House. Princeton's presidency could be yours.
You disgrace this whole family. I put a test upon pronounce it correctly. Lawnmower. No. It's lawnmower.
I'm sorry, Dad. I love you. I'm trying my best.
It's lawnmower. Now say it correctly.
Lawnmower.
I don't. You're a failure. is learning to read. I heard Tony Crowley. He's 11 and he still can't read.
He's a child. You're making him feel inadequate and worthless.
He needs to be made of sterner stuff. Just like tempered steel. The more he's beaten, the harder he'll become.
Tommy's traumatized when he disappoints you. He's too terrified to learn.
Don't turn Tommy into a mommy boy, huh?
Sit on mommy's lap. I'm the only fifth grader who can't read. I keep angering Dad. I'm a loser.
Don't say that. Everything will be fine. You can do anything you put your mind to.
I've got constant headaches.
Here, these will help. These should help. Take one of these pills every time you feel a headache coming on. Keep your buttons away. A bowl of lemon leaves. Other leaves. There. Eat some soup. It's great for your digestion.
I feel the strength of Samson.
It's time to learn God's covenant.
What's that?
The chosen people make war against the unchosen. God told Samuel to kill the Amalekites, utterly destroy all they have, spare them none, slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, cattle and one Moses didn't shed a tear over killing 500,000 firstborn Egyptians. God has chosen America to rid the world of evil. Oh, praise be to God, Tommy, you're really filthy with pride. Now, I can make a Latin order that looks for me. And Demosthenes, what Demosthenes spoke after you.
I'm lucky you're my father.
This makes perfect. Make 10,000 speeches.
All it takes is repetition, symbolism, and the veneration of Demosthenes.
Orators, great orators, excite emotion. Remember this. Humans are hormonal, not cerebral.
Honored by your presence, Mr. Carnegie.
I'm the richest man in America.
Your riches can make Princeton the greatest university on earth.
Elite university graduates administer empire. You championed the Spanish-American War. Cuba was just an excuse to conquer the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico. You supported waterboarding.
The white man's burden to rule over the non-chosen people. Rudyard Kipling's poems have always been close to my heart.
True Americans should reserve that sacred space for the U.S. Constitution. Madison's genius was to assign the water powers to Congress, the Labrador retriever who stays at peace unless attacked. Congress won't go abroad in search of monsters to destroy.
With respect, Mr. Carnegie, you are wrong. The war powers must be entrusted to the branch of government with the personality of a pit bull, always sniffing around for a country to attack. Only the president has that energetic and bellicose personality.
America's future is the march of the mind, not the march of the foot soldier. I'm dotting America with public libraries. Without constitutional literacy, our republic is doomed.
It's what?
Doomed.
Doomed! Doomed! Only a muscular American military can save humanity with a barrel of a gun.
Well, salvation is peace. The Constitution's war powers clause has made America rich beyond the wildest dreams of our founding fathers. I didn't build the steel industry to underwrite wars. I left Scotland to get rich.
How about a football stadium called Carnegie Coliseum, grander than Harvard and Yale? I hate football!
Same as lions eating Christians in the Roman Colosseum. Only savages exult in brain damage. You stop this. I'll do just a live for cruise. Rowing is hard.
And we'll call it Lake Carnegie.
Ever since Eleanor, Margaret, and Jessie fled the nest, I feel worthless.
You should be beaming. You've raised 3 lovely daughters.
I'm just a tiny little extra in your motion picture extravaganza.
There's room for only one lead actor.
I think we both need some space. How about you take a trip and give me the space?
That's a fine idea. Separate vacations will strengthen our marriage.
Great minds always think alike. Now, here's your ocean liner ticket. Here's a little picture of me to remember me by. And here's a hat to keep you warm.
Mary Peck. I love Bermuda in the winter. Your dinner parties are intoxicating. You're a more compelling listener than Mark Twain is a humorist.
Come down and see me sometime. No, anytime.
I'll do that every chance I get. Ellen and I agree. Separate vacations are best.
Let's put Ellen's picture on the mantelpiece. You have it in your pocket, don't you?
Yes, I do. Thank you. That does make me feel better.
Your pioneering quad plan fascinates me. You're really onto something. Your soaring ideas about limitless presidential power.
Well, here's my present for you. My favorite Gladstone biography.
I love talking about Lord Gladstone.
Only fools deny the world is run by mankind's conscience.
You're more brilliant than the Constitution's framers. Who says men aren't angels? The hell with little Jimmy Madison. He can't hold a candle to you.
If
On our beach walks, I thrill with the Shakespeare.
If it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. We happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed. They were not here, and hold their manhood's chief, while any speaks who fought with us upon St. Crispin's Day!
My darling, wonderful! You're my Henry V. Fight for honor, fight for empire. You'll move across the pages of poetry and romance.
My quad plan is in trouble. My oldest friend defected to my Princeton faculty enemies.
I am so sorry.
Either you're for me or you're against me.
Dear Woody, come, sit by me. You begin to sound like your father, full of wrath and vengeance. You are better than that. There are no good guys and bad guys. Now do me a favor. Pull yourself together. You've got to speak before the Princeton alumni get it in this hour. And remember, punctuality is the courtesy of kings. Woody. Dark blood spreads across his pupils like iron filings to a magnet whenever he meets the least little resistance. He shrinks elephants into fleas and he blows up fleas into elephants. If it weren't for me, he'd be Captain Ahab.
The board has rejected my quad plan. Quad damn it!
You have done everything you could. You have raised Princeton to the level of Harvard and Yale.
The New Jersey Democrats are offering me governor.
God comes through again like Tar by Georgia Peach, hitting it out of the bottom of the ninth. Oh, gentlemen, I do appreciate all of your labors for Woodrow.
His campaign speeches for governor of New Jersey are unforgettable.
They earned him the 1912 Democratic presidential nomination.
And Mr. Tuppleton, thank you so much for masterminding Woodrow's progressive landmark legislation.
His public utility regulation is very favorable.
And his eugenics law sterilizing criminals is even more praised.
Now New Jersey's a model state.
Gentlemen, William Jennings Bryan could still veto Woodrow's presidential nomination, and he is here in Princeton, and I have invited him to dinner.
Mrs. Wilson, your charms draw more eyes than rainbows. behind every successful man, there is a stronger and smarter wife.
Mr. Bride, you know I like to live in a world of men. Men cannot wear skirts, however, but I can wear pants.
The aroma of your southern fried chicken is more alluring than the scent of red roses.
Mr. Bryan, I do appreciate everything your wife has done to enhance your career.
And we appreciate everything that you've done to enhance Woodrow's career.
He is the best candidate for the presidential position in 1912. And your endorsement would mean so much to us. I could offer you any cabinet position.
Any cabinet position? It's a deal. Secretary of State.
Oh, Mary Peck, I just love your Fifth Avenue penthouse. Location, location, location.
Princeton's only a heartbeat away. Our perfect tryst. You seem mighty glad to see me.
Your divorce is great news.
You've changed my world.
Mary Peck, you're the apple of my eye. My love is part of God's covenant.
You deliver those words like a poetic refrain.
Oh, what happiness you have blessed me with. I love that dress.
I like my clothes tight enough to show I'm a woman, but loose enough to be a lady.
No, I can't resist you. You're my beautiful, wild child of nature, my perfect living. You may be drunk with happiness. If it's a sin to covet your love, I am the greatest sinner alive.
Gladstone biography.
Give it to me.
You scoundrel. You say the same thing to her you say to me. You're the apple of my eye. Guilty. Our love is part of God's covenant. Guilty again. Women are just interchangeable commodities to you.
It doesn't mean what it says.
What I'm saying is things will never be the same. You are a man of high ideals and no principles, and I mean no principles.
It was folly.
You broke your marriage vows to God as well as to me. Mary Peck is part of the devil's covenant. She's not part of God's covenant.
It depends on the meaning of the word all.
First you insult my honor, and then you steal our intimacy.
Oh, Mary. Oh, sorry. I mean, dearest. I mean, Helen. I'm speechless.
You are not half the man you think you are.
You knew I lacked wisdom and judgment when we married. Is that not a fact?
I can't believe I squandered my painting career for you. That's the worst deal since the Indians sold Manhattan for trinkets and beads.
I'm grateful for that everything you've done.
Adultery is a peculiar form of gratitude.
I listened to the serpent like Eve.
There you go again, the men blaming the women. We got this close to the White House, and what do? You risk everything. I
headquartered the National Women's Party right across the street from the White House. From now on, we're point blank. Suffrage is the litmus test of the true progressive. Can you understand that, Mr. President?
Politics, Phil. Politics kills feminine charms.
Feminine charms shine brightest in the 9 western states where women have to vote.
Female voting destroys the family.
Family values flourish out west.
Currency reform is my priority, not recasting woman.
The Federal Reserve is good only for financing imperial wars and enriching too big to fail banks. Women aren't bound by laws made by legislatures who deny us the vote.
My dears! You're revolutionaries!
I take that as a high compliment. My ancestors fought in our War of Independence. I fight in the struggle for the same rights for women. We'll win freedom in spite of your opposition.
Never tell a woman she's wrong. I'm thrilled to be a progressive.
Words, words, words. I'm so sick of words.
Suffrage is a matter of federalism and must be decided state by state.
Suffrage is a moral issue. Suffrage will make America great.
I didn't run on suffrage. I represent only the platform my party won on.
Stop insulting our intelligence.
And stop insulting the office of the president! Suffrage is not worth 10 minutes. This meeting is over.
Democrats have the votes in the Senate and the House to pass our amendment.
You'd have drowned first at the Salem witch trials. I mean that respectfully, of course.
Such a charming man. We'll campaign against every Democrat until we win universal suffrage.
Women vote the same as men. You won't change anything.
That's a wonderful argument for disenfranchising men. Let's switch places. Hark the sound of women's voices rising in their mind. 'Tis the sound of human freedom, hall of liberty. Raise the flag and plant the standard, wave the signal still. Brothers, we must share your freedom, help us and we will. Think it not an idle murmur, you who hear the cry. 'Tis the plea for human freedom, hall of liberty. Raise the flag and plant the standard, wave the signal still. Brothers, we must share your freedom, help us and we will. Oh, our country, glorious nation, greatest of them all. Give unto thy daughters justice, or thy pride will fall. Raise the flag and plant the standard, wave the signal still. Brothers, we must share your freedom, help us and we will.
pleasure to be Harvard's first colored Phi Beta Kappa.
And what's wrong with segregation? The Supreme Court blesses separate but equal.
They enforce the separate, but ignore the equal. We're the untouchable.
I'm all in favor of progress. It's change I can't stand. Remember, it took 2 centuries to abolish slavery. You must be patient.
I refuse the drug of gradualism. The time has come to rise from the dark valley of segregation to a sunlit path of racial justice.
Jesus accepted slavery.
Our leadership celebrated you as a second Abraham Lincoln. Now, our followers denounce us as traitors.
That's blackmail. Race has no place in politics.
Except when you want our votes.
Look, I'm sorry you feel that. Segregation must be approached factually, not emotionally.
Civil rights are sacred. You and your Dixie Bates are flouting the 15th Amendment. Wholesale disenfranchisement, literacy tests, clan lynchings. Make no mistake, our Constitution must be colorblind. All citizens should be equal before the law. The lowest is equal to the most powerful.
I can't stand your impertinence! Get out!
Mr. President, do you work for the class imperial wizard? We need justice and receive injustice. We need the rule of law and receive my violence. You should tremble before God. He is just, and his justice will not slumber forever.
Come back! Sometimes I can't contain the volcanoes within me.
To win the election, we need to court the colored voters, not alienate them. We shouldn't have screamed W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation at the White House.
Nonsense! That film writes history with my
It glorifies the Ku Klux Klan.
My southern base comes first. Less 29 wonderful years. You can't leave me. Not now.
You already left me long ago for Mary Beth.
I ended the affair.
You tore a hole and I had to roll a stone over the wound. Just pretend he wasn't there. How else was I going to go over?
Left her in years.
My heart bleeds a little bit every day.
I can't bear to hear you talk this way.
Our love exists on life support. He's half alive and half dead.
Thank God for you every day.
And why do you write to Mary Peck every week?
I write to her about current affairs, so future historians will understand my thinking.
Why don't you just keep a diary like John Quincy Adams?
I owe my fame to you. Marriage to Mary Peck would be political suicide.
Speaking of politics, treating colors and women like second-class citizens will not make you a leader of mankind. And don't treat the Germans the way the Yankees treated us. And do not make this war your servant. It squanders resources we need for schools and hospitals and bridges and children and the poor and the disabled.
God hasn't revealed his war plans to you yet.
You men have made such a mess of things. Promise me you won't go into this war.
I can't promise to break God's covenant.
You already did that with Mary Beck.
All right. You've convinced me.
I don't really believe you. You have a credibility gap. Dr. Grayson, please minister to Woodrow's migraines and his insomnia and his eating disorders and his twitching and coughing and his strokes and his you know what else and his insatiable craving for glory. Have I forgotten anything?
Dr. Grayson! My worst migraine ever!
Soldiers to the war have gone, who may never return again. 10 million mothers' hearts must break, all the ones who died in vain. Head bowed down in sorrow in their lonely fears. I heard a mother struggle through her tears. I didn't raise my boy to be a soldier. I brought him up to be my pride and joy. Who dares to put the musket on his shoulder to shoot some other mother's darling boy? Let nations arbitrate their future trouble. It's time to put the sword and gun away. There be no war today. If others all would say, I didn't raise my boy to be a soldier.
Solitaire has always been my favorite game. With Ellen gone, I play it every day, all night. Wish someone would join me.
Don't say that. God elected you for immortal work.
Heavens, after Moses, I thought God spoke only to me.
I live to please you. God sent me to replace Ellen as your other self.
Will you be as selfless?
I can't do enough.
I can trust you not to betray my confidences.
You're the wisest of the wise, bravest of the brave, noblest of nobles, gentlest of gentle.
I always you over that little group of willful men who rejected my Princeton quad plan. Princeton would have leapfrogged Harvard and Yale.
Even with that handicap, you still put Princeton into a tie.
He who puts his hand on the plow and looks back is not fit for the kingdom of heaven.
Every day, I thank God for the privilege of serving you.
Take the Lincoln. You can make a tax-deductible contribution to the
The Great War is the biggest upheaval since Jesus Christ. If you don't get involved, you won't receive a Nobel Peace Prize.
I can't let Teddy surpass me.
I'll be your national security advisor.
Without acknowledgement, without pay.
We'll circumvent the Constitution. I'll never face Senate confirmation or oversight.
Secret diplomacy will be my stock in trade.
We'll keep Secretary of State Bryan in the dark.
That'll prevent his resignation and challenge to my re-election.
Better to have him in the tent pissing out than outside the tent pissing in. I mastered Woodrow's personality. A perfect Yahweh. Malignant narcissism. Fragile self-esteem. Invents facts. Vindictive towards the unworshipful. Totally angry towards those who contradict him. Chronic headaches. Self-reflection. Unimaginable.
Mr. President, kindly dispatch this note to Downing Street. Demand freedom of the seas and respect for American neutrality.
Suppose the British persist.
Embargo food, the British go hungry. Embargo weapons, the British can't fight. We're holding a royal flush against their two clubs. Mr. Madison went to war with the cards reversed.
J.P. Morgan complained at his Long Island mansion about your blocking loans to Britain. The Allies must have unlimited credit.
Neutrals having allies is like baseball umpires owning teams. If we support the military capabilities of one side in a war, but not the other, we abandon our neutrality.
Neutrality means whatever I take it to mean. Nothing more and nothing less.
You are provoking the Germans to blow up our munitions factories and sink our armed merchant ships. If you play our royal flush, Downing Street will fold.
Let me study your diplomatic notes. Irish-American and German-American voters may turn against me for supporting Britain.
No one's dearer to my heart than you. Just wait until after the 1916 election before escalating into full-scale war with Germany.
Our campaign on keeping us out.
The 1916 election is only 13 months away.
Let me study.
I will
See if they are.
Mr. President, did you send my Downing Street table? Then I'll challenge you for the 1916 nomination.
Relax. You can't risk the special relationship.
Special relationship? Where is that in the Constitution?
Look, you'll never win the Nobel Peace Prize by blockading Britain.
Your oath is to the Constitution, not Great Britain.
You don't define America's interests. I do. What is good for me is good for America.
The Constitution defines America's interests, not you. And what's bad for the Constitution is bad for America.
Crucified Allied soldiers and raped nuns with breast cut off. We've cut Germany's international cables to the United States. Peddling fake news to America as a hateful. We market war like so. Yes, the bloodiest war of all time, we advertise as the war to end war. Asking Colonel Alster what the advertisement into his Wilson speech. Well, Colonel, we were just praising you. We divided the Ottoman Empire. The British Empire increases by 862,549 square miles. And the French Empire by 238,000. Well, some allies are more equal.
Just others. Keep it quiet, or it'll ruin our propaganda.
Well, listen, we appreciate your faith neutrality and vetting your diplomatic dispatches.
We've been arming, feeding, and funding you since the beginning.
Yes, but it will cost you much more for a ticket to the peace table.
What's your admission price?
Millions of American soldiers.
That will break the stalemate for sure.
Woodrow simply must stop talking self-determination. The Irish might take it seriously. And so do our subjects in India. It might even catch on in the Philippines. Be careful what you wish for. You might get it.
Don't worry. Woodrow will trade self-determination for a big land.
I'm recommending you for knighthood. In the meantime, here's a British pin of our appreciation.
I found her lying beside her mother and her twin sister. Only days before, she was nursing at the bosom of her loving Mutti. Now she's been starved to death by the cruel British blockade. Starved to death by her cousin Georg.
Oh, Georg! Unser Cousin Georg! What ingratitude! You gifted Britain 8 generations of German monarchs.
Wilson moralizes about Ubuntu. While Wilson moralizes about Ubuntu, 1 million innocent German civilians starved to death.
The British blockade is a war crime.
Neutral nations all protest its illegality. Only Wilson is silent.
Even his own State Department disputes his view of international law.
Blockading Britain is proportionate retaliation.
And it satisfies international law.
The British use surface weapons. We use submarines.
Our U-boot even spared crews until the British started arming their merchant ships.
And now British ships fly
falsely American flags with impunity.
Wilson abandoned Americans in Mexico. Now he's willing to risk war to protect Americans recklessly traveling unarmed British merchant ships in war zones.
I can bring Britain to its knees in 6 months before the Americans arrive. Ere Majestate, I beg of you, lift all submarine restrictions.
Unser Vater, der du bist im Himmel, dein Reich ist unser tägliches Brot.
Mein Gott,
Vergebe uns das Sünden,
Heavenly Father, hear our prayer. We acknowledge our shortcomings, and we ask you only that you guide us and the Reich to glorious victory. Give us this day a machine gun that will fire 10,000 rounds a minute. In thy infinite mercy, spare each bullet that fails to hit its mark. And do not forget thy children who cower and hide in the trenches, but move them under our merciful hands, that we might end their suffering. Thy will be done. Lead us not into the temptation that our wrath might be too gentle in the pursuit of thy divine judgment. Deliver us from the evil one, for thine is the power and the glory. Deutschland!
Im Namen des Vaters, des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
Herr General, the military is always overpromising. The von Schlieffen plan had us in Paris by now. So, nein. For now, discretion is the better part of valor. Come.
I love Southern bells. Eat it! You're the apple of my eye. Oh, love is part of God's covenant.
Did you rehearse those words? They sound memorized.
No. You're the perfect antidote to the world's loneliest job.
Marriage to power is a woman's aphrodisiac.
I'm late for a cabinet meeting. I'll share everything with you when I get back.
Dr. Priest, your husband's chronic depressions concern me. Do you have a remedy? You're it. But remember, he's a 600 horsepower motor on a frail chassis.
If you had been his physician at Princeton, you could have prevented his stroke and paralysis.
I do love to dominate him on the golf course. With a 40 handicap, I'm coasting to victory after the third
Oh, Edith. What happiness you give me. I look into your eyes. I feel like shouting for the joy and strength that is within me.
How sweet you need me. You're my tiger.
It's bliss to be in your arms. I share my heart only with you. We are inseparable Virginians, running the world.
I wish Brian would die from an overdose of peace or grape juice. Fire him. Am I erratic? Fire Tumblety too.
What did Tumblety do?
He lacks breeding.
Because he wasn't raised like us, he's deft at handling my diverse visitors.
He's a crypto-hyphenated American craving Irish independence. Colonel House's flattery conceals his vaulting ambition. Our intimacy forecloses all others.
You make my heart sing at heaven's gate.
100 Americans drowned. What did they expect? The German government posted this morning in over 50 American newspapers for weeks. Let me read it to you, Mrs. Wilson. Notice, travelers, please be warned that vessels flying the British flag are liable to destruction in waters adjacent to the British Isles.
Your mother was right. The Germans will destroy Western civilization. Britain's fight is our fight. Be like Gladstone. Go to war.
No more talk of war, Mrs. Wilson. Mr. President, American passengers can't be used to shield British munitions from enemy attack.
Munitions are irrelevant. Americans should be able to travel wherever they want, however they want. That right is more sacred than due process.
We should pass a law banning American passengers from traveling on ships of warring nations. Only a tiny fraction of wealthy Americans would be affected. You, sir, are a selective humanitarian. You have a heart of stone for those German children starved by Britain's illegal European blockade.
Only a disloyal, hyphenated American would say that. Some people say you're on the Kaiser's payroll.
The Lusitania was a British ship, not an American ship. Sunk in a war zone, not on the high seas.
That's fake news.
Torpedo hit the hull where the British munitions were stored. That's why it sunk instantly.
Give me alternative facts.
You are provoking these submarine attacks with your endorsement of Britain's illegal European blockade. Let me see your diplomatic note to Berlin.
If Germany doesn't pay reparations, I am breaking diplomatic relations.
That's it. I won't be complicit in starving innocent women and children. Here, sir, is my resignation. Yay.
You cower over Washington and Lincoln. They never even dreamed of saving mankind. Here's the British Empire.
Thank you. Now, everyone has at least one skeleton in their Before I can make America great, I must stop Mary Peck selling her intimate letters to me, to the Republic.
The 1916 election is only 13 months away.
Here's $7,000.
Isn't that a wonder statement?
She's broke. Give her the money. You can't risk delay.
Thank God there's no campaign finance law. By the skin of your teeth. If Mary Peck had sold her letters, there would be no second term.
If I hadn't campaigned on he kept us out of the war, I would be a one-term president.
The Germans have resumed unrestricted submarine warfare.
I'll ask Congress for a declaration of war.
Be cunning. In 128 years, Congress has never initiated war. Madison, Polk, and McKinley requested Congress to declare that aggression had ended peace. We must follow their example.
You know, you're right. The American people are not clamoring for war. Congress won't declare war against Germany. Its members are a bunch of Labrador retrievers.
We'll just say that Germany has initiated war against us.
Ha 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 ha! Oh, Edith, looking in your eyes gives me the strength to fight the Germans.
Deuteronomy 32. God says, I kill.
I wound.
I will make mine arrows drunk with blood.
And my sword will devour the flesh. For 3 long years, my offer to mediate was thwarted. Here is my war speech.
I'm thrilled to be part of God's covenant. Oh, my darling, you're brilliant. The world's greatest man. More respected, more admired, more worshipped. The greatest war president.
Heavenly Father, hear our prayer. We acknowledge our shortcomings and ask thy help in leading thy chosen people to glorious victories. Give us this day a machine gun that can fire 10,000 rounds a minute, and in thy merciful patience forgive each bullet that misses each mark. Forget not the children that hide from us in the trenches, and bring them under our merciful hand that we may end their suffering. Lord, thy will be done. Lead us not into the temptation of letting our wrath be too gentle in carrying out thy divine judgment. Deliver us from the evil one, for thine is the American kingdom.
Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun.
Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Hear them calling you and me, every son of liberty.
Hurry right away, don't delay, don't delay.
Ain't you daddy glad to have had such a lad? Tell your sweetheart not to mind, to be glad your boy's in line. Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the drums drumming everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word over there. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there.
Over there exalts war. Yet it excites you more than anything else. The Republic will be annihilated if mothers raise standing armies.
Your Constitution is a museum. Separation of powers keeps me off Mount Rushmore. I can't save mankind if Congress is the first branch of government.
You've deceived the American people for 2.5 years. Like a tulip, you blared neutrality while you moved heaven and earth to help the triple entente.
I am the proud father of presidential wars.
You've been a field marshal to the British. Arms, loans, fake news, blacklisting American firms, intercepting American mail, cutting German cables, interdicting Southern cotton, Midwestern meat, and Western copper.
My claiming neutrality enabled me to maneuver Congress into giving me a declaration of war.
If I were president in 1914, I would have issued an ultimatum to Britain for flagrant violations of our neutrality. If Britain persisted, I would have asked Congress to declare a state of war, as I did in 1812. I would have dispatched Eddie Rickenbacker to bomb Big Ben.
God's covenant trumps the Constitution. My allegiance is to all mankind.
You spiked the national debt from $1 billion to $30 billion, the greatest spending spree in the nation's history. You paid a steep price for machine guns, tanks, fighter bombers, unbuilt schools, unrepaired roads, unconstructed bridges.
Hyphenated Americans pour the poison of disloyalty into the nation's arteries.
According to Teddy Roosevelt, to stand by the president, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, but morally treasonous.
Espionage and sedition acts make the not yet guilty criminals. I'm proud to have imprisoned more dissenters than your John Adams.
You carry the disease that necessitates my vaccine.
Separation of powers is the worst idea in the world!
How do you plead?
Not guilty. Hooray!
The not yet guilty are the worst offenders. Women should be seen and not heard.
Not guilty.
Order!
We're political prisoners. Political prisoners. Political prisoners.
Political prisoners.
Stop! You're bordering on contempt.
Petitioning is permitted by the First Amendment.
Hooray!
Order!
You're punishing free speech. Wilson's a hypocrite.
Hooray! Kaiser Wilson, have you forgotten your sympathy for the poor Germans who did not have self-governance? 2 million American women don't have self-governance.
Enough! Guilty! Guilty! 7 months in jail!
Rise up, women, for the fight is far and long. Rise up in the thousands, singing for the battle song. Right is might and in strength we shall be strong, and the cause goes marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. The cause goes marching on.
Sleep deprivation, the Wilson administration's most effective interrogation technique.
That will not defeat our hunger strike. We won't eat until women get the vote. Get the vote. Get the vote.
Then we'll first feed you.
stalemate. Against the advice of all my advisors, I come to Paris as a Messiah. Through me, God defeated Germany to enthrone the conscience of the world. The savagery of self-interest surrenders to the dignity of righteousness. History's supreme moment has arrived. Drawing the sword of peace, American boys commingled their blood on French soil as a timeless reminder of their selfless devotion in lifting the burden of mankind. Their sacrifice points like a rugged finger to heaven. Americans are God's chosen people. All glory flies as the flag of humanity. The League of Nations culminates America's long journey of providential service. War is a thing of the past.
I was elected Prime Minister of France because I have to be buried standing up facing Germany. You were elected Prime Minister of Britain because you know the greatness of war.
Great for our expanding empire.
Great for expanding our executive powers.
That is why they call it the Great War.
Well, it's a good thing that Woodrow didn't listen to General Harrison.
Well, Woodrow had 4 million soldiers. All the money. He could have marched straight to Berlin and dictated his famous peace without victory.
Woodrow's influence evaporated in Germany's unconditional surrender.
What are we going to do and how are we going to pay Woodrow's $10 billion in war debts?
We mask our debt with voodoo economics. And then we force the Germans to sign a war guilt clause. And we make them pay our debt through reparations.
Yes. We'll squeeze them till their hips squeak.
Call me the tiger for nothing.
That's why you always wear gloves?
To hide myself. Yes, we'll get down to business. 1.3 million French men.
And nearly 1 million empire casualties.
You only lost 160,000?
Proportionate to population, our losses are 30 times yours.
We need Lebensraum. We must dismember Germany.
10% is population.
And 13% of its territory. Well, the Alsace-Lorraine? No! I must give Western Germany to Belgium, shall we?
Yes, and shall we take German Bohemia and say make Czechoslovakia?
That's 3 million Germans.
Don't they get self-determination?
The self-determination? You give the Redskins that?
Yes, if that is the way you want it, we will just leave the League of Nations out of the tree.
You can't do that.
Well, okay, then let's take Eastern Germany. and give it to Poland, all 2 million of them.
And let's not forget Denmark, huh? Oh, and Italy. Well, the Italians need Germans too, huh?
We are going to exclude Germany from the League just the way we excluded those bastards from our negotiations. Thank God for my League of Nations. Otherwise, Germany would seek revenge.
Alice Roosevelt.
What a pleasure to see you. Hurrah! The Democrats have lost both chambers.
And thank God the midterm elections occurred only days before the war ended with an armistice. Otherwise, we'd still be in the minority.
You know, the voters thoroughly repudiated Wilson because he so foolishly insinuated that we Republicans are traitors. Well, all I can say is that I'm so grateful you're in the driver's seat, thanks to that great little Madison who wins.
Here he is. Oh, Mr. Wilson, may I help you carry the treaty?
Not on your life.
Well, I'm Madison's sentinel, guarding separation of powers. The treaty is unconstitutional. Only Congress can declare war. We can't let the League take us to war over every little boundary dispute in the world.
It imposes only a moral obligation.
Then you should accept my reservation, which states the Congress, under the Constitution, has the sole power to declare war and employ U.S. military forces abroad.
I don't do reservations.
116,000 American boys fought for honor and gave their lives in support of Wilson's League of Nations.
No, Mrs. Wilson, they fought under the stars and stripes.
They thrilled to the Star-Spangled Banner.
And they sang, God bless America.
The heart of the world beats in this great and sincere document.
The heart of America beats in our Constitution.
The League Treaty is poorly written.
Oh, so bubbles of oratory and souffles of phrases.
It might get an A at Princeton, but an F at Harvard.
You wish to float to heaven on a sea of mush. You're no Christ.
You're the Antichrist.
I feel as if I've wandered into the Mad Hatter's tea party.
Mr. President, I have the votes. Accept the treaty with my reservation or no leave.
Over my dead body, I'll take my case to the American people.
You already did that and lost. Now it's my turn to pass judgment on you. Wilsonian America will never replace a Madisonian America on my watch.
You couldn't convince the Senate to surrender the war power to the President or League of Nations. So you whistle-stop across the continent, sermonizing the same voters who repudiated your war gospel in the midterms. stroke brought you to the brink of death. You preferred crucifixion to acceptance of my vaccine.
God damn your separation of powers. God damn your Declare War Act. My League of Nations would have prevented war forever by summoning the moral conscience of the world.
The Sermon on the Mount has not stopped a single war. No land is more blood-stained than the Holy Land.
I was created and put on earth to lead all of mankind to salvation.
The Versailles Treaty was only halftime before World War II. Your war to end wars begot a peace that ended peace. You seduced Germany with magnanimity to secure an armistice. Then you endorsed the Carthaginian peace to attain immortality. Your stab in the back created Adolf Hitler.
Being right makes process and institutions irrelevant. Your self-doubting constitution frustrates great men like me.
No man can be trusted with limitless power. Peace and liberty are its first casualties. To protect the 99%, my war vaccine aborts self-proclaimed great men like you.
I'm awed by my saintliness. Why not you?
The Declare War Clause of the Constitution has saved more lives, prevented more misery than all the medical profession since the beginning of time. Your hero, Lord Gladstone, effused that my Constitution was the most wonderful work ever struck off by the brain and purpose of man. By denying the president the war power, the Republic set the gold standard of civilization. It radiates peace and prosperity.
Here is the Constitution. You are a wreck. In the Wilsonian century, each president will make his office a bigger wall. The commander-in-chief will be elevated by history's greatest military as the supreme warlord of the earth. Some people burn books. I burn the American Constitution. Citizens will know a day of peace. America will garrison every continent in the world with military bases. Mankind will cower under predator drones and citizens under NSA blanket surveillance. The national debt will soar.
When you put your hand on the Bible, you swore to uphold the Constitution, not burn it.
I uphold God's covenant. America will replace Britain as world leader. The Republican and Democratic parties will reject your beloved separation of powers and enthusiastically build my imperial presidency. Congress will gleefully flee from accepting responsibility and acquiesce in endless political wars. I'll be celebrated for promoting democracy abroad, and you will be completely forgotten. I will totally erase your great republic from the public memory. The Wilsonian century will live for the ages.
Infinite narcissism blinds you. You have undone our great republic, lost the last best hope on earth. You are to the Constitution what Julius Caesar was to the Roman Republic. Dante's 10 circles of hell shall be your final resting place. From today until the end of time, Madisonians shall be remembered in the hearts and minds of noble women and noble men. The North Star for navigating to the better angels of our nation. Whether or not that lofty destination is reached, the voyage shall have ennobled the earth. It is for us, the living, to determine whether paradise lost is succeeded by paradise regained. We dare not fail to try.
Are you finished?
Thank you.